Hey, we're from the Farber Consulting Group, and today we're going to show you a technique that can save you a lot of time and effort when creating reports. Instead of creating a report for every single type of scenario, we are going to show you how to create a versatile report capable of being used in many different types of scenarios. As you can see, there are 7 drop-down controls, with each one of them representing a group in the report that can either be hidden or visible. If there is no value in the drop-down control, then the reports group is hidden. With minimal code, it's completed using Alpha Anywhere, where the majority of controlling the report is done with MS SQL Stored Procedure or any other database. It creates data on the fly based on the value selected in the parameters form, which is also the UX component. Now, let's enter some values in the drop-down controls. Let's run the report and see how it looks. Okay, we create groups of this account number, shown here, which is divided into segments with the flexibility to be assigned dynamically to any group. The first 2 digits represent the fund, the second is the program, the third is function, and so on. In this example, we use the substring function to extract each segment for each group. In other reports, multiple fields can be attached to each group. Now let's go to page 78. And we can see all 5 subtotals. Now the other 2 groups are not shown. As we see, the first 2 digits were changed from 11 to 12, and the location group was changed from 35 to 6, a total of a 5 group break. And now let's close the report. And let's select Object for the second drop-down, and the third as Location. These segments will dynamically be assigned into these groups, while the other 4 groups are hidden. Alright, and now let's run the report. Okay, and now let's go to page 72. And we can actually see the 3 subtotals of the groups. The other groups are hidden. Another unique scenario is to select Fund, and then go to the last drop-down control and select the sub-object. Let's run the report and observe these groups. Okay, and let's go to page 67, where we see the 2 subtotals for the first and 7th group above each other, while the 5 other groups are hidden. Let's go to the stored procedure and see how it works. Let's run the last scenario, and the account seg grp1 is the field attached to group 1. If we go to the account seg grp7, we see it's filled with the concatenated data of the first and 7th group, so it can be sorted properly. The rest of the group fields are null. Whenever the group's field is null or empty, it will not be shown in the report. The sample of the account segments are specific to this report. Now, these 2 if statements show different conditions of different fields that are dynamically assigned to groups. This provides the user tremendous flexibility. Now, this is a more common scenario found in many reports. Let's go to the report and see how it works. And as you see, there are 7 groups in the report, but only the first one has a header and a continuation header. In addition, every group has a conditional object, which causes the space to shrink if there is no data in the group subtotal. We can check this option as Object Can Shrink in the conditional object. To prevent any subtotal labels from being shown when no data is present for some groups, there is 1 line of code in every conditional object. For instance, in the 7th group, there's the following code: seg7 different than nothing. Group 1 has a label that's written seg1, and this pattern continues until group 7. In addition, the data is already sorted when it is created via the stored procedure. That way, the report is just displaying the data, thus increasing the report's performance significantly. Clicking on the group order option as use set ordering will use the sorted data. When we call a report via the UX component, we need to make sure each drop-down control will return a value if nothing was selected. Alright, now let's see how it's done. In the Run Report button, on the on-click event, I selected the Open a Report action and clicked Argument Binding. Beside the first argument, I validate each one with JavaScript. For the arg budget year, it calls the function named budget year value before the report is executed. All the functions shown here returns a value of 3 stars. This way, the stored procedure knows what to do with each parameter if it is empty. Alright, and this just about sums up how we can create one report for many different types of scenarios, which will save you a lot of time. Thank you for watching our video, and for any questions, visit the Farber Consulting Group's website at www.dfarber.com or email us at customerservice@dfarber.com. Thank you so much, and have a good one.